What's up guys? Jolo here. As you guys know, I love modding stuff and I have modded 2 controllers, so I'm going to show you my experiences and hopefully this helps you out in some way. I have 2 Xbox One controllers that I have modded and I had changed out the LED. Now, this is the standard Xbox One controller right here. It lights up white and everything like that. Kind of bland, doesn't reflect any personality. But you know me, I like modding stuff. So here is one controller that I modded. Right here, brand new shell. All that fun stuff. You will also have to take out the metal connector that's for the batteries. And actually connect it to the shell itself. It's going to be on this side. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get it, but if you have a small flathead screwdriver, it should work great and you won't have any problems. Okay, so moving on. So this is what this controller is. It's green. I got these LEDs through Amazon.com and unfortunately the freaking things aren't labeled, so I definitely know these are green. As far as the other ones, I don't know, and I want specific colors, but I do like green and everything like that. On these controllers, it kind of has like pretty badass, I have to say. So here's another one that I did. Has the, I guess you want to call it a chrome finish, green. And then replace the buttons, right and left trigger, everything. I kept these guys right here, so I should say replaced the right and left bumper, and then I kept the left trigger and right trigger the same to have some kind of, you know, contrast. So if I turn this one on, I have to make sure it has batteries in it, of course, and they're Duracell, so they might work, they might not. So I'll just hold down the button. Voila, we have green as well. Looks pretty sweet, right? So, that being said, let's go ahead and take apart an Xbox One controller. It's fairly simple. I could probably take this apart in probably 15 minutes or so. So, sorry for the long introduction, but this is pretty much what I'm explaining. Tools you're going to need. You may need tweezers. You can use a regular eyebrow tweezer. This is a cheap piece of crap tweezer that came with one of my kits, or you can go out and get these guys right here. They're like $5 a pop, so they're great for holding wires, SMDs and all that stuff. You're going to need a T8 adapter or screwdriver. This one has to be security. Reason why is because the first 5 screws when you get into the controller are security screws. Okay. However, if you go to the next one, let's see, flathead, little mini screwdriver. You also need a T6 screwdriver as well, and if you don't have that, this might work. There's no guarantees. We have the 1/16 Allen head, so that might work as well if you guys don't have it. And I think I forgot something. That was my bad, but this is a bit I got. I got Stanley Tools and it has a whole bunch of bits, and this thing is a lifesaver. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and focus on the Xbox One controller, and I'll try to be as thorough as possible as usual. Some people don't like me talking a lot. I apologize. It's just making sure everybody understands what they're doing if they're going to proceed with this mod. Okay, let me go center it up. Alright, right here there's going to be a screw. You're not going to be able to tell it where it is until you puncture the hole, and I usually do this. Now you can see there's a hole right there, and there's the screw. So we're going to go ahead and take your T8 security driver that you have. Go ahead and take this out. Make sure you label your screws somewhere, like on a piece of paper, or have them laid out to where you're going to know where they're going to be at. Okay, these guys right here can be a pain in the butt. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take your flathead, small flathead screwdriver, and just have a little leverage to it, and like that. And then you can use some force on taking this apart. It's not going to hurt anything, trust me. And essentially, if I can zoom it back a little bit, so you just take it, there you go, see, nothing broke. Okay, next up we're going to do the same side, same process. Go ahead and pop that open. So sometimes it's easier if you push the trigger in while you're doing it, so let me go ahead and zoom in again. So take it like that, and it just pops off just like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and undo these. There's one screw located right here, right here, right here, and right here. So you guys see that? Now it is kind of hard because the controller is black, and I apologize for that. So we have one screw undone. We have another screw that's right here again at the corner. I will have I actually took a whole bunch of pictures on my camera when I was doing this process. So I'll make sure that somehow link that within the video or add them while I'm doing the process and everything and explaining. So, alright, let me see if I might be able to try to get this screw out. Okay, it's still in there. Sometimes if it's stuck in there, it might have a little bit of tape. There we go, see, it just pops right out. Okay, next up we have this screw right here. And if it doesn't come out, don't worry, it's going to come out eventually when you pull it apart. So if you feel it spin freely, it means that's going to come out. Alright, see, 1, 2, okay, 4, alright, we should be good to go. Voila, there's a screwdriver, or not screwdriver, but the case, excuse me. So, yeah, pretty easy to do again, really easy. This is probably the easiest part to do, and then I have some, okay, some garbage, but you're going to go ahead and take this off, pull these off. From there, we're going to go ahead and to gain access here, and this is kind of an important part. I'm going to try to, while I'm explaining everything, I gotta wait for my soldering iron to heat up. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to heat up. Apologize about that. You also need a soldering iron. That's one thing I totally spaced it. But basically these wires right here, if I can zoom up nice and close. Ooh, too close. Alright, these wires right here, these are going to the motors that are located in this trigger right here. These wires are going to the trigger located right here on the other side. And then we have one motor here, positive and negative. So red right here is your positive, and then black is your negative, and then for the positive and negative here, the gray is going to be your positive wire, and then this is just going to be your ground wire. So basically 12 volt positive and then your ground. It's pretty easy. If you want to take the controller apart further, you can go ahead and there's this metal clip. Let me go ahead and zoom out. Go ahead and pull that back. So pull it back up and it should lift right out, and then there you go. You can go ahead and take this off. It's pretty easy. Alright, now some people want to take this stuff off, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these T6 screws. The T6 screws are going to be located right here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tilt the camera anymore, the angle, so let me see if I can zoom up more. But it's going to be right here. Very, very small screw. So we're going to go ahead and take that out while the soldering iron's heating up. So there's going to be 2 screws. I call it the second PCB, or the top one. I call the first PCB the bottom. So that's just how I do it. Just make sure you label everything like you're supposed to. So again, you're going to have another screw. It's kind of at a bad angle. So we're going to go ahead and take that screw out too. And so if you feel it spin freely, more than likely it is ready to come out. So we're going to go ahead and put that aside. You're going to have two screws visible here, and then after that you're going to have a center one here and then 2 on either side. So we're going to go ahead and take this screw out. Okay, we're going to take the other one out. Alright, and then there's going to be another one that's going to be right underneath this PCB. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can. So we're going to go ahead and try to take that screw out too as well. Okay, and this should just come off. If not, no biggie. So it looks like the PCB is stopping it, so no worries there, guys. We still have some desoldering to do. It might be a little quick, and I apologize. So let's go ahead and... Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and try to zoom up on one area where I'm going to desolder these wires. Little too blurry. Okay, there we go. So you're going to have these gray wires here, or gray wire, black wire, red wire, black wire. Make sure you always tin your soldering iron. So I'm going to go ahead and tin it, and that's all you need to do. You can use a pair of tweezers to hold the wire so it comes out more easily, or you can just use your hands. I found out that using my hands is just as easier as efficient desoldering these guys. So make sure you write down what's positive and negative. So there's one wire, here's another. Okay, now we're gonna rotate it and try to, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these tweezers. So I'm going to lift up on the wire a little bit, and then comes right off. Black wire, negative, lift that off. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the opposite side. So again, same deal. Take your tweezers and then slowly lift up. There's one wire out of the way. We're going to do the black wire. There's your black wire. Now we're going to do the negative wire on the other side, and then we'll have one more wire to go. So let me see if I can grab it. There we go. There we go. Sometimes there's a glob of solder, and then sometimes there isn't. And then go ahead and do the red. Alright, go ahead and put that in its stand. There we go. We can go ahead and do that. So now you should be able to pop the PCB off. I can go ahead and back this up. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make sure there's no screws holding it in. There's no screws holding it in. So should be able to pop this out pretty easily. There we go. Alright, there's that center screw I was talking about. And then we're going to have another set of screws. Let me go ahead and zoom in. You're going to have a set of screws right here. We're going to have one at the very, basically where the left trigger is. It's going to be right here. So let me see if I can get that in a better angle. There we go. So there you go, guys. It's going to be right here next to these caps right here. So you're going to go ahead and pull those off. There's one. Okay, there's another one. Opposite end, same area. Okay. Then we're going to have another one next where the B button is. The B button's actually located on another PCB. So we're going to go ahead and undo that. So that's ready to go. Well, hopefully anyway. So sometimes you might have to hold down the PCB while you're unscrewing it. Okay. Gonna go ahead and take that off. Gonna zoom out just a tad. Alright, now you can pretty much take this off. It's pretty easy. All you're gonna do is lift up and then pull straight out. So sometimes the texture or whatever you call it where the buttons hit to do that might interfere, but you should be able to just pull it back. There you go. So there you go. Alright, next step, go ahead and take this off right here. If you want, you can take out all the buttons. Just do something like that. Don't lose them, of course, if you're gonna reuse them. Okay, next up we're gonna go ahead and take these little guys off. Fairly simple, really easy. Basically just start at the top and lift up, pops right off. Don't start, or I should say start at the bottom, not the top. So go ahead, there's on the other side, you're gonna flip this over and then lift up, and then when you're lifting up, just pull out a little and it should pop right out. If not, you can use a small flathead screwdriver and you're not going to break the thing. This is pretty durable plastic. So see how it just falls off. Alright, and this right here, let me go ahead. This guy right here is actually your sync button. So we can go ahead and take that out, put that to a safe spot. This right here is where your Xbox One, button is. And then from there, if you want to go mighty, you can take out the trigger button. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that, even though I'm not going to really do anything. So there's going to be a screw on either side, right here and right here. These right here are magnets held in by, believe it or not, heat shrink. The magnets should be held down by some kind of adhesive, but sometimes not. I experienced when I was doing a controller mod on one of my Xbox One controllers, I took off the heat shrink and the magnet flew off. So you just want to be careful on what you do. So there we go. Got one button for the bumper or whatever you want to call it, and then you can do the other one. Also, before you do this process, if you plan on replacing the motors and stuff, or you don't like the motors at all, I know some people don't like the vibration feature, you can just yank these out and it won't have any effect on your controller whatsoever, which is kind of nice. So we're going to flip this over and you can see this kind of a yellowish tape. Go ahead and lift that up, and then from there, you can go around and pull out the motor just like that. Pretty easy. And then go ahead and put this on the side, lift this up. There you go. Got two motors. Now if we want to break it down even further and say you messed something up here or whatever, what you're going to do is to replace this whole shell. Essentially, all you're going to do, I'll do it very briefly, but you're going to take these pins, see these guys right here. Let me see if I can zoom up. I actually had to do this myself and figure out how these guys came out, and the camera's not focusing, of course. Alright, so you're going to have these metal pins right here, and all you're going to do is push this pin back this way. So this pin goes this way, and you'll be able to pull out the pin, and this right here, your trigger button, would be able to come off fairly easy. And that goes with the same for the left trigger as well. So yeah, that's how you do it. I'm not too proficient at removing LEDs. I'm still slow at that. So I will have some kind of other video of showing you guys this is what it looks like, and this is probably what you should do when you install an LED and everything like that. Also, when you're getting SMDs, different SMDs have different kind of polarity signatures on them as well, so make sure you download a picture of that to ensure that you are doing the right polarity. If you are going to do an SMD LED replacement, the left hand side right here, my left, your right, I guess, depending on how you look at it, but anyways, this side right here is positive and this is negative. So positive side, look at it, and then negative side. And then there's a lot of different techniques. You can build up, basically flow the solder. Basically you raise it up and then you swipe off the SMD, or there's a couple other methods as well. So that's it for this tutorial video. Hope this video helps you out in some way. And as always, comment, subscribe, rate this video, click that like button. Guys, have a great day now. Bye.